Yippee-ki-yay, my children! As an American, I always feel the need to really emphasize a genre unique to this great country, the Western! But of course, this is a Western from the Longbox. So let me introduce you to the Graveslinger. Meet Frank Timmins, former undertaker of Gila Flats. He's traveling around Arizona with his coffin cart on the mule, Lucifer, when he comes across Will Saylor, a ranch owner on his way home. Frank mentions he's from Gila Flats and Will is worried. Wasn't there some kind of prison break from there? Frank confirms this. He's on the hunt for the escapees. And the two rush down the road. It seems Will's wife and daughters are going to be right in their path if the escapees are headed that way. And so they get to move on towards his ranch house. But they stop nearby. Frank knows they'll have a guard on duty. Can sense the guard thanks to a little imprint on his palm. But as we soon see, these are no ordinary escapees. They are undead. Frank kills the guard and talks with the head of the gang, Bart Bevard, offering him his freedom with the women as long as he promises to turn them loose once he's out of rifle range. Bart agrees, but Frank knows they won't keep their promise. Like traditional zombies, these undead outlaws crave human flesh and plan to eat the ladies. And hey, I understand. I get hungry on the road too. Frank sets an ambush, and with the help of Will and his ranch hands, the women are rescued, though Bart and his gang get away. Will soon learns, however, that the ranch war with a rival owner, Newell, has officially begun. That night, Frank explains about himself and the undead. Bart Bevard was a criminal who got hung at Gila Flats, cursing Frank from the grave because Frank had a bad habit of stealing things from the dead bodies. One victim of the rope was El Brujo, a Mexican who seemed to have access to strange powers. Frank took a charm off his body, but the charm disappeared into his hand, and that night, while digging El Brujo's grave, he is struck by lightning. He survives, but the dead begin rising, and the spirit of El Brujo explains that he had made a deal with some of the executed, that he could keep them from fully crossing over after death. And thus they rose again as zombies. The zombies slaughtered many in the town, including Frank's wife Dorothy. However, Hell is pretty unhappy that so many souls that belong to them never arrived. And so they make a deal. Frank will go out and retrieve the 100 souls by killing the zombies, only his gun is capable of killing them anyway. And maybe Frank will be reunited with his beloved Dorothy. Killing zombies is usually the best way to express your love for someone. And so Frank is on the trail, though while he waits for leads on Bart, he decides to help Will out with the ranch war. They go into town to hopefully get some help, but it seems Bart has thrown in with Newell, and they send men into town to kill the two. They sadly succeed in killing Will, but Frank is more than happy to put them down and brings a bunch of volunteers back to the ranch to try to help, including one with a Gatling gun. However, the ranch is already being besieged by Newell and the zombies, forcing a direct confrontation with everything they've got. In the end, Frank is successful in killing Bart's gang and convincing Newell to pay restitution for all the damage he caused. And Frank must go back on the road to find the other 100 souls still on the run, so he can be with his love again. Graveslinger combines two great things together: the undead walking around eating the flesh of the living, and some rootin', tootin', and shootin'! Yee-ha!
Design Moarte, and not a computer program. Wait, where are you going? It's really me.